מבין הערב במהדורה. עכשיו לסיפור המדהים של אנה. סבא רבא שלה הקים את תאי הגזים באושוויץ, והיא עצמה הגיעה לארץ כדי להתנדב למען אנשים עם מוגבלויות בכפר השיקומי עדי נגב שבמועצה האזורית מרחבים. עכשיו היא מצטרפת אלינו. אנה, שלום.
שלום אימון.
אני מבין שאת מדברת קצת עברית ובעיקר אנגלית. תנסי לספר לנו למה הגעת לישראל, מה מביא אותך?
כי בעדי עושים שינוי, ולהתנדב זה משהו ממש חשוב לי לעשות. בזמן הזה יש קורונה, יש אנטישמיות, יש הרבה דברים רעים. בגלל זה חשבתי על ללכת לישראל לעשות התנדבות.
ספרי לנו מה את עושה בכפר השיקומי עדי נגב.
כן, אני עובדת בגן ילדים, זה אומר מעון שיקומי בגן תקשורת. ואני עובדת כמו גננת רגיל, כאילו לשחק עם הילדים, לעשות את הטיפול עם הילדים, להחליף בטיטולים, זה מה אני עושה, וזה ממש כיף לי.
כן, אנחנו מדברים כי אנחנו מציינים היום את ערב יום השואה, ואת מכירה את השואה אבל מהצד השני, נכון?
So my connection to the Holocaust is that all of my 4 great-grandfathers were involved in the Shoah. They were all actively involved and were Nazis. And my parents told me this when I was about 12 years old. They started to talk with me about that subject. And they're part of a movement that is called March of Life. And March of Life started around 2007 that a group of people started to do researches. They wanted to know what really happened at that time in their families. Because in Germany, we often separate between the Nazis and the Germans. But we have to see that they were the same group. And what they found out was this group, they found out that their fathers or grandfathers were murderers, rapists, and thieves. And out of that, they were encouraged to walk the opposite way of a death march. And that's why it's called March of Life. Okay. And quickly it became a worldwide movement. And thousands of people will get mobilized to stand up against anti-Semitism and for Israel. And I'm part of that movement too, because I think it's so important not to look away, not to be indifferent. So that's my connection to the Holocaust and how I kind of deal with it.
כן, וסבא של סבא שלך הקים את תאי הגזים באושוויץ, נכון?
So my great-grandfather from my mother's side, he was a supervisor in a tank factory. And there are stories that he was very aggressive and a violent man. The other great-grandfather couldn't go to the war because of a lung disease, so he couldn't fight as a soldier, but they sent him as an engineer to help to build up the concentration camp in Auschwitz.
Wow.
So he was responsible for putting the electricity to the fences, but also he was constructing the gas chambers. That's what we know so far from the stories. And the other great-grandfather, he grew up in Romania as a German. And when he heard about what's going on in Germany at that time, he went all the way from Romania to Germany to voluntarily join the SS, and he became a part of it. And he was a sniper in Europe and also part of a project where Jewish and Polish families were kicked out of their homes so Germans could settle in.
את מתביישת בהם?
Of course. It's not nice to know that you're a descendant of a family like this, where they believed in the Nazi ideology. They not only believed it, they also lived it. They supported it with their actions. On the other hand, it encourages me to do the opposite. And there are many people asking me if I try to do a redemption for it, but I say I can't do it. I could be a volunteer for my life, and I couldn't undo the murder of 6 million Jews, and that's also not my aim. My aim is to change our presence and to be a good example for the future.
כן, ואפשר להגיד שאת הגעת לכאן כדי לעשות סוג של תיקון, נכון? זאת הסיבה שבאת לארץ.
I mean, I can't fix the past, but change people's life with encounters and talking openly about it. And I want to live these values because I saw how the encounters changed the life of people here.
אנה, המון המון תודה.
תודה לך.
כן.